Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. The unemployment rate has been at its highest since World War II, and college costs are rising every day. It's no wonder our college graduates are moving back at home with mom and dad. We have been talking about this boomerang generation. Well, joining us in the studio right now is Cheryl Allmen. She's the director of the Career Center at San Jose State University. And Cheryl, thank you. I like the way you spell your name, by the way.
Thank you. I like it too.
You know, we've been talking about some of the reasons why young adults move back home, but it's more than just they can't afford to live on their own. I mean, you've got students who have to actually support the parents sometimes, right?
Right. In this multi-generational environment that we're in, many students do support their family. There's multi-generations going on, so it's not unusual for some students and some graduates to go back home. It's kind of expected.
And you work with helping to place jobs, people in jobs,
we do.
right?
We do. Yes.
So when you talk to students, do they have illusions that they're going to get a job right out of college?
Well, I think it depends on the student. The student that has gotten involved in some internships, part-time jobs, they're a little more aware of the marketplace. And for the student that has started early, let's say 6, 9 months early, and maybe even as early as their freshman year, they've gotten a part-time job, and they understand it. But as it gets closer to graduation or closer to that time for an internship, if they've done some things well, they're in a better position. And what I mean by that is if they've gotten involved in some professional associations, or they've gone to some of the programming we have on campus, so they hear from employers what the market's like, then I think they have a much more realistic picture of what to expect in the job market and what it's going to take to get the job.
So they don't think they're just going to go out there and land that $60,000 a year job right away.
Well, I think there's a few of them that might.
They can dream, right?
Yeah, I think there's a few of them that might think that, but the majority at our campus, they're pretty realistic. They understand the marketplace. They understand what kind of energy it's going to take to get that job. It's actually a full-time job, looking for a job.
It is. And how can you do that when you're carrying a full load at school and 2 or 3 jobs just to keep yourself going?
Well, right. they seem to be able to negotiate that. In fact, many of the courses that the students take, there's often projects that they're involved in. So looking for a job sometimes is the back door, meaning networking and getting to know people in the field, so that you're a little more conversant and a little more understanding of what that marketplace is like.
How important are those internships?
Extremely important. In fact, we recommend to our students start with internships as early as you can. Many employers are telling us they look for the candidate that has several internships.
Now, for folks who don't know what that means, can you explain that?
Well, an internship has various definitions, but it's basically getting some experience in the field that you really are very interested in. Some are paid, some are not paid, and some, in some cases, start out as a part-time job and evolve into something. Traditionally, there are learning objectives. Sometimes there's credit for it, and we hope in a lot of the instances that they're paid.
Is there a way that students can avoid making the move back home if they apply themselves to all of these things?
Well, I think if one is proactive, absolutely. If you start early, you get involved in professional groups, you go to employer presentations, you get a part-time job, you work with projects in your field, you're just setting yourself up for a little bit more successful job search.
And do you think that it's always a bad thing for students to move back home?
Oh, absolutely not. In some cases, it helps them mature a little bit more. Sometimes they're in an environment where the parent can help. And in some cases, you just need some time to focus on the job search and not worry about working and not worry about what your friends are going to say.
That's probably the biggest thing.
Exactly.
All right. Cheryl, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Great advice. All right, we do have to take another break. When we come back, though, we're going to hear directly from students about what they think of the boomerang generation, so don't go away.